I believe whether we want to face it or not, the real issue is the volunteer fire department of Yopon needs to be integrated with Oak Island Fire Department. There was a motion on the council last night to give them 10 years to accomplish that task by establishing a date certain that this would happen. It has to happen. And I understand their emotional issues, but long term, it makes no sense. You have to have a unified fire department for a municipality. And imagine what it's going to get like when we get twice as much fire protection as we have today. So, not to disrespect Yopon Beach Volunteer Fire Department, but it's 10 years now that Yopon Beach and Long Beach became Oak Island. And in 10 more years, we ought to be able to say we've got a unified fire department.
Well, in answer to the question that was asked, or questions that were asked, my opinion of the town of Oak Island Fire Service, I kind of like where I am. I mean, I've got a fire department 3 blocks from my house, and I feel like if my house catches on fire, surely the Lord, somebody's going to come put it out. I cannot fault the fire service on Oak Island. I will say this, as Betty's already told you, I did meet with the volunteers. They called me and asked me to. I was a volunteer fireman for 15 years, and I know what a vital service it is to a community. These firemen at the volunteer fire station are some of the best trained firemen we have in our area. A very high percentage of them are level 3 firefighters. Most of them are either CPR certified or they're in the process of getting CPR certified. So they're top-notch trained people. And my theory has always been, when you have a problem to solve or a job to do, use all your resources. Don't push any resource to the side. Use all your resources. And so my idea would be, for the powers that be would sit down around the table and talk about the issues, communicate with one another, and try to find a way, an amicable way for everybody, every organization, every fire department to be able to do what they need to do to protect Oak Island. Why? Now you've asked the question, why? Would if you live in South Harbor? I'm sorry. If you live in Oak Island Estates or in Yopon, the old Yopon area, if you have a fire, the first responder is going to be fire station in South Harbor. Why it's that way, I don't know. The county allots the fire districts, and we would have to ask the county that question. Should it be changed? I don't know. My only concern would be if it was my house on fire, I want the one to come that can get there the quickest. And I'll tell you something else. If you're lying in your living room floor and you're having a heart attack, you want somebody there that can help you. It doesn't matter whether he's a paid fireman or an EMS person or whether he's a volunteer. If he's there to help you and he knows how to help you, that's the person you want there, the one that can get there the quickest.
I'd just like to say thank you for inviting me.
First, let me say that having been chief of police and been involved in law enforcement emergency services for so many years, this can be a complicated matter. I know where we stand right now. At some point down the road, yeah, that may be a consolidation issue that has to happen. But to give you a short example, where I came from in Shelby Fire Department had 3 or 4 stations throughout the city, and they had all their paid employees just like we do here. But they also had a large contingency of volunteers that worked directly for the Shelby Fire Department. And of course in the county you had in the unincorporated areas, it was divided up with the volunteer fire departments, the volunteer rescue squads, so forth and so on. The bottom line is, when crunch time comes, everybody's going to come a running. because we want the fire department there. If your house is on fire, you want the fire department there. And having been the chief here on Oak Island, I've been able to firsthand witness the working relationships that both Yopon has with Oak Island. I've watched these guys on the scene. They work well together. And I think right now they're doing an excellent job. The old attitude, if it's not broke, let's don't try to fix it. And I think right now we're at that point where it's not broke. Let's leave it alone right now and continue like we do. Thank you.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you for inviting me. Enjoyed the evening, and congratulations and best wishes to all of you county.
Thank you for your coming out tonight. Tomorrow night will be the big one. That will be the mayor's. We'll invite you to come back again, bring your questions. If you can do it beforehand, you'll see us sometime. Thanks again and good night.